Am I on the air?
Do I have everybody's attention now? Do I have everybody's attention now?
Don, I got you.
Do I have everybody's
Sunday
attention
night.
now?
You put them cameras on me, then you must be willing to get that heart touch. This a must-see feeling. The news ain't good, then it must be villain. So I say a tag grounded, I don't trust these ceilings. Spread across your nose, and I'm on your ear. Highest necks on the cloud. Am I in the air? Sunday nights, prime time. I flex mine better. Voltron transform to DX Don Mega. And off scene, you probably think I'm nice, cause I flow like a stream to your wireless device. And the smoke full of steam on any given night. I'll short like a piece of any given slice. And for the latest and what is best about, I tune in and tune the rest out, Don. You gotta tell them, am I in the clear? Is this thing on? Am I on the air? On the air.
Well, what is going down, everybody? Welcome back to another brand new edition of Am I on the Air? I'm your host, Don Mega, and I welcome you to the show. It's season 18, episode 27, and tonight's show is titled Losers Club. That is correct. It's time for the Losers Club because we're going to be reviewing the number one movie in the world, and that's It Chapter 2. So that's what's going down here tonight. Of course, in addition to all the latest and greatest and everything that's going down in the world of entertainment news, television, movies, this is your one-stop shop. So we're broadcasting live here from the Red Dragons Radio Studios in lovely Tucson, Arizona. Still hot as hell outside, 100 plus degrees, so we're trying to stay cool up in here. So without any further ado, let's get into our non-spoiler review of the number one movie in the world. Like I said, It Chapter 2. Now, I was only a so-so fan of the miniseries back in the 90s, I believe, early 90s. So going back to when the first It movie came out in 2017, I was very excited but didn't really know what we were going to get out of it. You know, horror is a very odd genre. Sometimes it hits, sometimes it misses, and more times than not, it misses. And I went in and absolutely loved It Chapter 1. It provided everything I ever would have wanted out of a horror movie. I gave It Chapter 1 5 out of 5 stars. Just absolutely loved it. So much fun. A great, great horror movie. So, of course, my expectations are through the roof for It Chapter 2, because not only do we go back to Derry, not only do we have Pennywise back, not only do we have the great kids back from the first movie, but now we have the adult versions as well. Jessica Chastain, pitch perfect casting. She was somebody that after I watched the first movie, I said they gotta get Jessica Chastain. So I was super stoked on that. James McAvoy, Bill Hader, oh my god, steals the show in this movie. He is so good. The whole grown-up cast is fantastic. I mean, you truly believe that we went to the future and grabbed the adult versions of these kids and filmed this movie. That's how good it is. I mean, from just the delivery of the lines to the facial expressions, I mean, they killed it with this. So of course the loosely part of the story, because we don't want to get into spoilers, is it's 27 years later. Stuff is starting to happen in Derry again. We think Pennywise is back. So there's only one of the Losers Club that stayed in Derry all those years. Everybody else got real smart, got the hell out of town. And I believe it's Dave. I believe Dave was the one that stayed back, played by the Old Spice guy. And he was really good in the movie. And he calls all of the Losers Club and says, hey, something's going down. We made that pact when we were kids. We said if something happened, we would all come back home and try to deal with it. So they all come back, and yes, shit is going down, and they have to try to stop Pennywise. You know, It is what it is plot-wise. I can't sit here and get into specifics without spoiling anything for everybody. But what I can say is that the movie's fantastic. I loved it. The one negative is it is almost 3 hours long, and it does feel it at times. I don't think it needed to be 3 hours, but at the same time, I can't really pinpoint things in my head that I'd say I would have taken that out or I would have taken that out to really scale the time back. So I guess it maybe needed to be, but it did feel long. And I did go to a late night showing, so that might have been why it felt longer than it was to me. Who knows? But that's my only real big criticism. Like I said, I think the flashbacks were great. I thought the scares were great. I do believe that part 1 is the better film. It is the superior film. It's scarier. It just plays out so much better. But part 2 is a great follow-up that comes damn near close to what the first movie pulled off. Like I said, from the kid acting to the adult actors to Skarsgård himself as Pennywise, everybody brought their game. It's directed beautifully by Andy Muschietti, who I'm so excited to see take on The Flash after this, because he's just such a great director. If you love the first movie, there's no reason you should be hesitating on this one. Go see it. It's worth the money. It's worth the time that you invest into it. I think you'll really, really dig it. So I would give it Chapter 2 4 out of 5 stars. So really awesome. Didn't quite hit what the first movie did for me, but very, very good nonetheless. So 4 out of 5 balloons for me. All right. Before I get into the news, there's one more little movie review I want to throw out there. I caught a little indie film over the weekend that stars Danny McBride, and it's called Arizona. And I was very intrigued by this movie due to Danny McBride himself, just because I love Danny, and I tried to check out pretty much any project that he's in. This one here takes place in 2009 during the housing crash, right? A lot of people lost their houses. A lot of people were underwater when it came to their loans. And it kind of follows him dealing with this and the realty company that sold him his house. I'm trying to dance around the premise because this is one of those movies that I think the less you know about it and just kind of go in and watch it blindly, you'll be surprised and you'll really like the way it kind of unfolds. It's a short movie. It's only like an hour and 20 minutes. But it flew by for me and I really, really dug it, and it's got some great cameos. So I would recommend you check out Arizona if you can. Look for the movie Arizona with Danny McBride. And just sit back and enjoy the craziness that unravels. Okay? That's all I'm going to say about that. Now, with that being out the way, let's get into our news of the past week. In sequel news that you might not have been expecting, we're actually getting a Tomb Raider 2. That's right, a Tomb Raider sequel with Alicia Vikander returning as Lara Croft has been set for a March 2021 release, and Ben Wheatley is set to direct the film. So, very, very cool. I dug the Tomb Raider movie with her. I thought she was a great Lara Croft. I really, really dug her. The movie is so-so for me. Like, I enjoy it, but it's not like a go-to kind of film. I actually bought it on digital when it came out, and I haven't even watched it one time. But I did enjoy the movie when we saw it in the theater, but it was more of like a 3-star out of 5, kind of movie. But it was a fun time. One of the better video game kind of movies. But I was wondering if they were ever going to move forward with a sequel, and now we know we're getting it. So very cool, and I can't wait to see what they do, because I feel like a sequel with her actually embracing being Lara Croft, being the Tomb Raider, is going to be really cool, because the movie we got was kind of like a prequel, and now we're going to get the real Laura with her guns and with everything. So I'm totally down for this. The new video game Cyberpunk 2077 will feature multiplayer gameplay options, so that's going to be really cool. I'm looking very much forward to that video game. Director Richard Kelly, his next film that he's going to do is actually a Rod Serling biopic. Hulu is developing an adaptation of Margaret Atwood's Handmaid's Tale sequel. That's right. The Testaments, which is the Handmaid's Tale sequel book, is being developed into a show for Hulu as well, obviously because of how well The Handmaid's Tale does. So that's going to be pretty cool. Will Poulter has been cast in the lead role for Amazon's upcoming Lord of the Rings series. We have the first trailer for Just Mercy, which is a new movie with Michael B. Jordan and Brie Larson and Jamie Foxx. Looks very, very intense. And we also got the brand new trailer for Bad Boys for Life. That's right, Bad Boys for Life. The third movie in the Bad Boys franchise. Will Smith back, Martin Lawrence back. This trailer was fantastic. I loved it. I've watched it a million times since it came out last week. Bad Boys 2 is one of my all-time favorite movies ever. And I love Bad Boys 1, so I've been waiting for this threequel for a very, very long time. I think 2003 was when Bad Boys 2 came out. So it's long past due, but this trailer got me so stoked. I cannot wait for it to come out in January. So check out that trailer if you haven't seen it yet. The Detour has been canceled over on TBS. That's a little bit of a bummer. I like The Detour. I've watched the other 3 seasons, and so sad to see that one go. My boy Kevin James is coming back to TV. That's right. He's actually going to be doing a new comedy series called The Crew, and that's going to be on Netflix. It's going to be a NASCAR comedy series. Kevin James is a big NASCAR fan, and I think he's going to play like a pit boss, and then his daughter's trying to get a job in it or something like that. I don't know. The details are a little sketchy, but it's going to be a like a half-hour kind of comedy series like he would do on television, but this time it's going to be on Netflix because he has an exclusive deal with Netflix to get those done. But yes, it's called The Crew, and it's going to star Kevin James, and it should be out later next year, so that's going to be cool. Criminal Minds actor Daniel Henney is joining the Wheel of Time adaptation over on Amazon. Grace and Frankie has been renewed for a 7th and final season. That's right. So that show will be wrapping up with its 7th season. Big shout out to my boy Dwayne The Rock Johnson, who left his honeymoon early to go fill in a spot for Kevin Hart on the new Kelly Clarkson talk show. That's right. Now, as you all know, Kevin Hart got in a real bad car accident a couple weeks ago. His back got real messed up. He had to have surgery. They had to fuse his spine back together, stuff like that. So Kevin was supposed to be a guest on Kelly Clarkson's first episode. And since Kevin's still in the hospital, The Rock, being the man he is and a good friend of Kevin Hart, showed up and took his spot. And that's awesome, man. Just love the heart between these two guys. They're such good friends, and I love it, love it, love it. And best wishes to Kevin Hart. Hope for him to have a speedy recovery. We love Kevin here at the show. Billy Crystal is set to star and direct a new movie with Tiffany Haddish called Here Today. So that's going to be pretty interesting. We have the first full trailer for American Horror Story 1984, which debuts next week on September 18th. I'm looking real forward to this one. I love that it's like a slasher vibe. I'm really sad at this news, which is Sony saying that the door is closed for now on Spider-Man returning to the MCU. That's right, it is closed. Not to mean that it can't be open later on, but for right now, negotiations are done, and there will be no more Spidey in the MCU, so very, very bummed about this still. All I can do is hope that one day cooler heads will prevail and we can start negotiating again. Eddie Murphy looks like he's going to be returning to do stand-up comedy. He's going to go on a stand-up comedy tour. That's going to be awesome. I hope he comes somewhere around here. That would be great to see. We have the Season 2 trailer for Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan over on Amazon, so check that out. I believe the season's going to debut in November. We have the first trailer for Black Christmas, so you can check that out right now. 13 Reasons Why has added Gary Sinise as a series regular ahead of the final season coming out. Milo Ventimiglia is set to star as Daredevil Evel Knievel in an upcoming USA Network limited series. Joseph Gordon-Levitt is set to star in a new Apple school teacher drama called Mr. Corman. Madam Secretary has just brought on Wentworth Miller to join the cast. The Boys Season 2 has added, man, I'm going to butcher these names. Hold on a second here. Goran Vizhidnik and Claudia Domit. They're going to be added to The Boys Season 2. Yeah, I guess they're both vets from the TV show Timeless. I didn't watch Timeless, but Goran Visnijic and Claudia Domit are going to have reoccurring arcs in season 2 of the Amazon Prime show Boys, which, once again, I will always pimp The Boys. If you haven't seen The Boys season 1, I don't know what you're waiting for. Go watch that show. So yes. So look for them on the upcoming season. So I love that they keep adding more and more cast to that. Big Brother has been renewed for season 22 over at CBS. Eddie Murphy's stand-up tour is going to be in 2020. Marvel has officially tapped the Mad Men writers to pen the upcoming Hawkeye series for Disney+. So I really like that. Jonathan Igla is the main writer. I love that they're getting quality people for these shows over on Disney+, so that is awesome. I'm excited about this edition as well. Christopher McQuarrie has announced that Haley Atwell is joining Mission Impossible. Oh my goodness. Agent Carter, in all her gloriousness, will be joining Tom Cruise in the upcoming Mission Impossible. Hopefully she'll be in the next couple, because she is awesome, and this is a perfect franchise for her. Iko Uwais is in talks to join the G.I. Joe spinoff Snake Eyes. As you know, we've been talking about a lot of casting for Snake Eyes recently, and Iko is great. I mean, this is the dude from The Raid. He's so fantastic, and I just love what they're starting to ramp up this Snake Eyes movie to be. Keep it in the rumor mill, and I'm only going to say this. Warner Brothers might be returning to Hogwarts with the original cast. Rumor. The Titans showrunner, yes, and I will take a second to say that Titans Season 2 officially started on the DC Universe this past Friday, and I loved it. Season premiere was great, and I really can't wait to see what they end up doing with it later this season. This season has so much potential. But the Titans showrunner says that Nightwing actually could be there before the close of Season 2. So that's what I expect. We know he's getting away from the Robin moniker in the show, and it only makes sense for him to become Nightwing, right? So we'll go from there. Will Smith signs up for a new film where he's going to hunt down super-powered kids in a new movie called Brilliance. So that's pretty awesome. Richard Madden is teasing that more names could be announced for Marvel's Eternals movie, so we'll see what ends up happening with that. Darren Criss is set to star in Ryan Murphy's new Netflix series called Hollywood. Joan Cusack is in talks to play TV chef Julia Child in a new drama series that will be coming to the HBO Max service. Jonah Hex is going to be returning for the Arrowverse's Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover, so we will see him coming back. Jonathan Schick will reprise his role as Jonah Hex in the 5-night event. We have the new trailer for Hustlers, which comes out this Friday, and I'm so excited, man. I will be there day one. The Crown. Gillian Anderson confirmed to play Margaret Thatcher in Season 4. So that's awesome. We have the brand new final trailer for Dr. Sleep, so check that out. I can't wait for that movie. That's going to be great as well. The Hustler early reviews are in, and they say Jennifer Lopez amazes in the film, and that she also, that the movie is actually one of this year's best films. So that's pretty awesome in its own right. Sorry, one sec. Okay. Let's see here. What else do we got? We have Haley Steinfeld in talks for the Kate Bishop role in the upcoming Hawkeye Disney Plus series. So going back to the Hawkeye series, we know we got the Mad Men guy writing it. Now we have Haley Steinfeld in talks for the role. I love Haley Steinfeld. She is so good in everything she does. She was great in Bumblebee. She's such a great actress, and she's perfect for Kate Bishop, man. I really hope that this comes to pan out, and I think this would be a great addition to the MCU. Very excited about this news as well. The Righteous Gemstones has been renewed for Season 2. That's right, and I'm super happy about this. The Righteous Gemstones, I think, is the best comedy on television right now. It's on HBO Sunday nights. It's so good, and I'm so happy it's getting back for Season 2. Bill Skarsgård says that he's open to the possibility of playing Pennywise again. Why not, right? Just because they finished the book doesn't mean they can't come up with their own Chapter 3. Margot Robbie is reportedly developing a Tank Girl reboot movie, so that'll be interesting. I guess what's coming now? Another streaming service. That's right, it's BET Plus. BET Plus sets its launch date with a $9.99 price, and they're going to have First Wives Club, Tyler Perry Library, Martin, Basketball Wives, Being Mary Jane, and a bunch more. So BET Plus, $9.99. Connors Season 2, Katie Sagal is officially returning for a major stint on the upcoming season. We got lots of premieres coming up in 2 weeks. 911, The Voice, The Neighborhood, Bold, Good Doctor, new shows like Prodigal Son, All Rise, Bluff City Law, Bob Hart's Abishola. Lots of stuff coming. We're starting to get the new episodes. It's going to be season premiere time, and it's going to be oh so great. So coming, a couple weeks, baby. We're getting close. Brad Paisley is set to star in a new Amazon comedy spoofing celebrity vanity projects. So that'll be interesting. We have everyone that's going to be showing up in the final season of Arrow, so check that out if you're interested. I don't want to spoil it for those of you that aren't. Amanda Peet and Christian Slater are set to headline Dirty John Season 2, and big news that dropped earlier today is that Paramount Pictures is looking to reboot Face Off. That's right, reboot Face Off. I don't know how I feel about that. Face Off is one of my all-time favorite movies. It is in my top 5. It's one of the best movies ever made, and it's so perfect the way it is. John Travolta, Nicolas Cage, just such a great movie. I don't know if they could redo it. I don't know if it would have the same just awesomeness to it, you know, John Woo directing, the action. I mean, I'm down to see them, I guess, try to give it another whirl, but it makes me a little worried, I'm not going to lie, but I guess we'll see where it goes, man. I would rather them try to do a sequel to this. I think it'd be great after all these years. Castor Troy to come back to it would be pretty interesting. But we'll see. We'll see where it goes. And that's it, my friends. I mean, real quick to the punch, that's all the news of the last week. I know we recorded a day late last week because I was out of town for work. But I wanted to get back onto the Monday schedule tonight. And that is the news that gets us all caught up to speed. So let's shift gears. Let's talk about some release dates and we'll wrap this thing up. Out on Blu-ray and DVD tomorrow will be Aladdin, John Wick Chapter 3, and The Dead Don't Die. All three of which are already available on digital. I already own Aladdin and John Wick 3. I've had them for weeks, but now you can actually get them on disc if you're still waiting for physical media. In theaters this Friday will be Hustlers and The Goldfinch. And like I said, man, I'm there for Hustlers, baby, all day. And here's your weekend box office. Coming in at number 10 is Dora and the Lost City of Gold with 2.2 mil. Number 9 is Ready or Not with 2.2. Number 8, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark with 2.3. Number 7 is The Peanut Butter Falcon with 2.3. Number 6 is Fast and Furious Presents Hobbs and Shaw with 3.7. Number 5 is Overcomer with 3.8. Number 4 is The Lion King with 4.2. Number 3 is Good Boys with 5.4. Number 2 is Angel Has Fallen with 6 million. And coming in at number 1, It Chapter 2 with $91 million. It also made $94 million internationally, so it's already almost made $200 million in just its opening weekend. Pretty fantastic, if you ask me. Wow. Well, that'll do it, ladies and gentlemen. We did it in a very short and sweet, just 22 minutes. 22 minutes, man. Record breaking up in here. But hey, it's all that matters that we get you caught up with all the latest and greatest in entertainment news. So thank you so much for tuning in and listening. Hey, make sure you check out our official webpage. It's amiontheair.com. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/amiontheair. Follow us on Twitter at Am I On The Air. Follow me on Twitter directly at DXDonMega. You can get us on Apple Podcast. If Apple Podcast ain't your thing, don't you worry. We got you covered. We're on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, Stitcher, TuneIn, Google Play Podcast. We're all over the interwebs. We're available on YouTube and Instagram. It's simply Am I On The Air. And a big shout out and thanks to our affiliates at RedDragonsRadio.com. That's a great website that has a bunch of really cool podcasts. We're proud to be a part of it. RedDragonsRadio.com. Follow on Twitter at RedDragonsRadio. And, of course, follow me on Stardust. Stardust is a really cool app where you can watch 30-second video reviews for TV, TV shows, movies, trailers, and I love to get stuff up on Stardust for you guys. So follow me on Stardust. That's simply Don Mega, DonMega, and I will give you a follow back. So Stardust is great. Download it and check it out. If you're a fan of this show, I don't see why you wouldn't be a fan of Stardust. So that'll do it for me on this Monday, September the 9th. I hope everybody has a great week. Take care of yourselves and each other, y'all. And until next time, peace.
Bye, everybody. Red Dragons! Red Dragons!